Okay, well, we'll just start there. You did find one finally?
Yeah, I got one eventually. Yeah, someone ended up giving me one, but I bought 16 and like I'd got everybody on the team, but I didn't get mine. Someone ended up giving it to me. It was like one of the regular ones. I'd still like one of my signature ones though. That'd be cool.
Did you get any other signature ones in your packs that from anybody else? Or?
I didn't get any signature ones, but I got like a couple of the other guys. I got some Shays, Mad Dogs, Marcos Ahmeds, Drew. I got one, and a lot of Ashtons.
What's that like? You probably never would have imagined like going to a store and buying trading cards to try to find your own. Like just the way that's changed the last couple of years.
Oh yeah, that's super cool. I grew up with all that stuff. My parents had a huge collection, so I would go back and like look and see all of the old players my parents had, and just thinking that maybe I'm one of those little kids' memories is really cool.
What does your card look like, and how do you think your card compares to other people's cards?
I think it's pretty cool. It's like a little action shot of me like holding the ball against Wyoming. I don't even have that picture, so I think it's pretty cool.
How do you feel about the line going into Saturday?
I feel great. Everyone has done a fantastic job preparing, especially with this bonus week that we have. Very intentional, very detailed with what we have to do. We haven't got a lot of physical reps the past couple days, but today we ramped it up a little bit. I think we did a great job.
What did Hall Schmidt do in your mind to kind of win that right tackle spot?
He just developed his mentality, I believe. I believe he had such a great summer building his body. Actually, going back, he had a great spring ball, learning the offense and everything, because it was a little bit new with Coach Cutter and everything. But he knew he had to step up because that's what we needed from him, and he did a great job.
What's that like to have the four of you guys that have all played and kind of been out there, and then get a new starter to the mix at a spot like right tackle? I mean, how's that period kind of go to mesh somebody in?
It's good. We're all us four very familiar with each other. We know what each other's weaknesses are and how we strengthen each other. And Hall's been here for this is going to be his third year. He's been here for all 3 years, so we know how he kind of operates, but we haven't seen him on game day, and that's the biggest tell of how well someone's going to perform is how they do on game day. So we'll see.
Week one, always a challenge. I mean, just on the road, they're saying it's going to be a hostile environment. Just for the O-line, what kind of challenge right out of the gate is the road game in week one?
Oh, for sure. It's a big challenge. I mean, they got a lot of returners coming back on defense. Basically their entire starting defensive line's coming back. They've got a really big nose tackle. He's about 6 foot, 360. And just that environment itself, it's going to be a hot day, potentially some rain, I've heard. The humidity and everything we have to deal with. And even little stuff like I might have to change my pants at halftime because it's so hot and I sweat a lot. And if I snap the ball and it gets wet, then there's nothing really good happening with that. So it's just how can we manage that little stuff and going into it, getting ready.
Looking at films, you mentioned Georgia Southern has, I think, the entire front four back.
Yeah.
So one of the you can look at actually and see what they did last year. What stands out? What did they do maybe that's unique, and what will be the greatest challenge going against them?
I think they do a lot of things. They do a lot of different things, and that's what stands out to me. A lot of returners are coming back. 88's got great twitch coming off the ball, and the defensive ends are long and they're quick, agile guys. And the defense itself provides a bunch of different challenges with the coverage and how they hide blitzes and stuff. But there's little keys that you have to key in on and see what actually they're bringing.
Their best player may be their middle linebacker, Watson Trent, number one. When somebody has a really good middle linebacker, what does that do to the defense and what the line needs to do?
It's huge. I mean, he makes so many plays, whether he's in coverage or I believe he had 120 something tackles last year. That's absurd numbers for a linebacker. I mean, that's absolutely crazy, and you can tell that's how he plays. Violent, fast, and I've never seen him come off the field. He plays every single snap, every single down. So, I mean, having someone like that on their defense is definitely someone we're going to have to be careful of. Not necessarily be careful of, but obviously watch and target him and see how he reacts.
With the quarterback battle, there was obviously a lot of fans had their guy on both sides, and there was social media reaction, whatever. I mean, how do you get a sense that Maddox is maybe pretty fired up for Saturday, and to kind of just show that he was the right guy for the job?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's done a great job this whole camp and everything, getting back into the flow of everything with his injury last year and taking over this offense and kind of making it his. And you can just tell he's got a little bit more gusto to his walk today, and he definitely earned it. I mean, it was definitely a battle, and I think they chose the right guy. It doesn't matter who is going to come in the first game. It just matters if we win. That's all I believe.
This offense, I mean, you look at the line, you look at the receivers you have, the running backs, I mean, tight ends. I mean, you go through, I mean, the depth chart. I mean, what's the potential for this offense? How excited are you guys to kind of turn it loose on Saturday?
Oh, the potential is to the sky. I mean, we have so many returners, so many guys coming in that can make an impact. I mean, we had several players like with standout practices alone, and we also know how Ashton's going to do because he's shown it last year. I'm really excited for guys like Sayer to get a shot because nobody's seen him yet. The wide receiver group is the deepest it's ever been, and they also do a fantastic job blocking. There was a play last week where Latrell was supposed to crack block Ahmed and just ended up pass blocking him, and Cage ended up getting the whole wide receiver room donuts because of how well they've been doing on those blocking.
When you look at the start of the season, the last 3 years, tough games to start the season, everybody's talked about starting fast. So what, in your minds, what does that mean, and maybe what does that mean from the line?
I think that means just communicating, getting everyone on the same page, especially for myself alone, getting the IDs right and getting the blitzes picked up, allowing our playmakers to make plays when they get the ball. And, you know, it's going to be hostile, so we have to manage that little stuff. It's going to be hot, manage that little stuff, but it's all stuff we can control.
Kind of a fun story I'm working on. Have you ever been to Jol, New Mexico?
I've never been to Jol, but I've been to Carlsbad, New Mexico.
Okay.
Which is, I was talking to Roger about it the other day, and he was like, "You been to Carlsbad?" It's like an hour away from his hometown.
Okay.
So I've been kind of close to it.
What have you heard about Jol?
It's a little town, very little. Dirt roads, and he said he would just go sit out back and just shoot his gun at just random stuff. So, I mean, it's funny hearing that he's from there and just such a different environment.
He was telling me how he's the first, Division I player from his school in his town to play D1, and that they'll have the one restaurant in town will have the game on for the watch party for the whole town to come out. I mean, do you get a sense that he realizes he's kind of playing for more than just himself here?
Oh, for sure. That kid has the ultimate chip on his shoulder forever. I mean, we talk about it still to this day. We were just talking about it today about how he felt after the UTEP game when he got his first start and how he felt like he let people down when he didn't perform his best. And it honestly just like inspires me a little bit hearing about all that stuff and what he's playing for, just how motivated he is every single day.
Have you seen him improve the last couple of years, and how ready is he for this season?
Oh, he's so ready. Just seeing him grow, because obviously last year he had a big jump in his physical abilities and how well he played on the field, but hearing him operate and how he understands things and how his voice is growing as a leader on the team is awesome.
Speaking about voice, you're the one that calls the signals in the line. How much of a challenge is that on the road?
It's pretty difficult. I mean, even home, there's still little things that we look and we're like, oh, I messed that up a little bit, or I mis-ID'd this person. But I mean, that's going to be the flow of the game. There's going to be mistakes, but Coach Keane always says, whenever we're all wrong, we're all right. So
I meant more in the loudness as opposed to what you were communicating.
yeah. I mean, we'll have to see when we get there. We've worked a couple things for the crowd noise and everything. Like today, we had crowd noise pumping in through the stadium, but I haven't really noticed it too much. If one of the tight ends or the running backs doesn't hear the ID, they have like a little key for me to like they say it, and I'll let them know again.